Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AINA MAISARAH, and so today we will talking about the making process in Malaysia. The legal system of Malaysia is a set of rules that governs the behavior of individuals, organizations, and institutions. It is based on common law from the British colonial period, with Islamic law for Muslims and customary law for indigenous communities. The Federal Constitution, which is the supreme law, was enacted in 1957 and all other laws must align with it. Malaysian law covers areas like criminal law, civil law, administrative law, and constitutional law. Laws are amended to keep up with changes in society, such as technological advances or new social norms. For example, laws on privacy, intellectual property, or human rights may need updates, especially with the rise of cybercrimes and data protection. Amendments to the Federal Constitution are sometimes necessary to reflect changes in political, social, and economic conditions. An example is the 1971's amendment that introduced the new economic policy to reduce poverty and promote unity. The process for amending laws involves the Malaysian Parliament, which includes the Dewan Rakyat, House of Representatives, and Dewan Negara Senate. After MPs propose and debate bills, they are voted on and sent to the King, Yang di-Pertuan Agong, for royal assent, after which they become law. Laws are amended to ensure they are fair, relevant, and effective, addressing new issues and ensuring justice. Amendments also help fill gaps or correct injustice in the legal system.
So, hi, my name is ZULAIKA binti ZULKIFLI, and today I will explain and present to you about legislation process and constitutional amendment in Malaysia about lowering voting age from 21 years old to 18 years old in 2019. The first step is drafting a bill. Drafting a bill is in the pre-parliamentary stage, which refers to the period prior to a bill being presented to a parliament. Furthermore, it is the phase wherein a drafted proposal undergoes through research regarding its objective, significance, and potential impact on the enforcement or modification of legislation. So, concerning the proposed amendment in 2019, the former Minister of Youth and Sport, Syed Abdul Rahman, advocated for the reduction of the voting age from 21 years old to 18 years old. The rationale behind lowering the voting age was to empower individuals to select representatives who reflect their interests, thereby enhancing youth participation as responsible citizens, contributing to democracy and national development. In drafting a bill, various strategies, discussion, and critical decisions were made by cabinet members along with the Election Commission (SPR). The proposed amendment to Article 119 garnered approval in a cabinet meeting and bipartisan support from parties such as the Malaysian Islamic Youth (PAS), Malaysian Indian Congress Youth (MIC), Johor UMNO, and state representative from the Barisan Nasional, including Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, Datuk Sri Muhammad Nazri Abdul Aziz, and Khairi Jamaluddin. Meanwhile, on October 31, 2018, the Election Commission conducted an engagement session with 51 political parties addressing registration, delimitation, and election issues and conducting educational awareness through the Election Academy. As a result, the proposal, along with heightening awareness regarding reducing the voting age to 18 years old, received affirmative support from numerous stakeholders, including non-governmental organizations, NGOs, civil society organizations, and muftis. Ultimately, following the attainment of consensus and agreement, the draft amendment to Article 119(1) was submitted to the Attorney General's Chamber for transformation into a bill and to be presented at the Parliament level. Next is the first reading. This stage is a formal introduction to the members of the House of Representatives on the law to be amended, such as the title and the objective of the amendment. Following the amendment of Article 119(1) of Federal Constitution, which is lowering the voting age from 21 years old to 18 years old, and automatic voter registration, the title of the bill was read by the former minister from the Minister's Department of Law and Institutional Reform, Datuk Liew View Kiong, in Parliament on 4 July 2019. He was responsible for presenting and explaining the amendment's objective to the House of Representative members. In addition, the debate and discussion on the bill presented at this session are not permitted at all. This is because this stage wants to be a space for all members of the House of Representatives to examine and study every detail of the bill regarding the amendment of Article 119(1) of Federal Constitution before proceeding to the second reading session. So next, after the first reading session, the bill moves to the next stage, which is a second reading stage. At this stage, the bill must be officially printed and distributed by the responsible minister to all members of the House of Representatives to discuss the issues that will be raised. In this stage, all debates and discussion on proposed amendment are open to all members of the House. So, following the issue of amending Article 119(1) of Federal Constitution, the second reading session was held on 16 July 2019, where Datuk Liew View Kiong was responsible for presenting the outline of the principle of the bill, as well as answering all questions and issues raised by the members of the House. Some issues that have been discussed are the maturity and educational level of young voters. However, the issue finally received a positive view from the members of the Assembly, where they support that the teenagers now have a higher level of knowledge and make the age of 18 years old a relevant age to make the yard one of the wise voters. Apart from that, on this session, the amendment of Article 119(1) has also received bipartisan support, where they believe that this amendment will increase the involvement of the youth in the democratic world. Lastly, after completing all debates on the presented bill, the members resolved through a vote that for the amendment to progress to the next stage, and a two-thirds majority of Assembly members must be attained, as the amendment pertains to the Federal Constitution. As a result, there are 211 out of 222 members of Parliament gave a positive vote and support for the bill on amending Article 119(1).
So, Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is SHAHIRAH binti SAHARUDIN. So today we are going to discuss about an important part of the legislative process in Malaysia, specifically the House of Committee stage. This stage plays a crucial role in shaping the law that govern our country. Let's start with a quick overview. When a bill is introduced in Parliament, it doesn't immediately become law. It has to go through several stages. One of which is the Committee of the House. This is where members of Parliament or MPs come together to carefully examine the bill in detail. Think of it like proofreading an essay before submitting it. So they make sure everything is clear, logical and practical. In the committee stage, MPs discuss, suggest and change and make the amendment to the bill. Why this is very important? Because it allows the MPs to address any concerns or potential problem with the bill before it moves forward. To give you a real life example, let's talk about the Constitution's Amendment Bill 2019, also known as the Voting 18 Bill. This bill was introduced to lower the voting age in Malaysia from 21 to 18. To make this happen, Article 119 of the Federal Constitution needed to be amended. During the committee stage, MPs debated how to implement this change effectively. They discussed things like how voter registration would work and whether the Election Commission was ready to handle younger voters. This detailed examination ensured that when the bill was passed, it could be applied smoothly without causing confusion or delays. Key figures in this process included Syed Saddiq Syed Abdul Rahman, who was the Minister of Youth and Sport at that time. He strongly supported the bill, advocating for more youth involvement in Malaysia democracy. The Speaker of the Dewan Rakyat, Datuk Azhar Azizan Harun, also played an important role by facilitating these discussions. Thanks to the work done in the committee, the Voting 18 bill was successfully passed. It became a significant step forward for Malaysia, empowering young people to participate in elections and aligning the country with global trends. So, why is the House Committee's stage is very important? This is because it ensures that every law is practical, inclusive and beneficial to the people. It's a great example of how the MPs work together regardless of their political differences to strengthen our democracy. The third process and legislative process is third reading. So the third reading is a critical stage in the legislative process, as it serves as the final opportunity for lawmakers to deliberate on a bill before it is put to a vote. At this stage, the bill has already passed through earlier readings and committee stage, where it was scrutinized in detail and amended as necessary. The focus of the third reading shifts from the specifics of the bill's content to its overall purpose, implications and alignment with national interests. It is a stage that emphasizes reflections and decision making, as no further change can be made to the bill at this point. In the Malaysian legislative process, the third reading holds particular importance for a constitutional amendment, such as amendments require a two-thirds majority vote to pass, and then in ensuring that changes to the country foundational law have broad support. This high threshold is a safeguard against unilateral decisions and guarantees that amendments reflect a consensus among lawmakers. The third reading, therefore, represents the culmination of rigorous debate and serve as a testament to the to the principles of democracy and accountability. An excellent example of the significance of the third reading can be seen. In the Constitution's Amendment Bill 2019 in Malaysia. The bill proposed 2 key reforms, lowering the voting age from 21 to 18 and introducing automatic voter registration. These changes were monumental as they aim to empower the younger generations and enhance inclusivity in the democratic process. The bill's passage marked a historic moment in Malaysia legislative history and demonstrated the potential of unity and bipartisan cooperation. During the third reading of the bill, many prominent leaders voiced their support. So the then Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad emphasized the importance of involving young Malaysians in shaping the nation's future. By lowering the voting age, the amendment would enable the younger generation to participate actively in the democratic process and have a direct stake in the country's governance. Similarly to Sheikh Sadiq Abdul Rahman, the then Minister of Youth and Sport, described the bill as a historic step that would encourage youth participations in national decision-making. Opposition leader Ismail Sabri Yaakob also supported the bill, praising the bipartisan effort to advance Malaysia democratic practice. MPs such as Wee Ka Seong highlight the collective unity behind the bill, recognizing it as a shared commitment to strengthening democracy. So, despite the overwhelming support for the bill, some concerns were raised during the third reading. One of the primary issues was the ability of the Election Commission to manage the influx of new voters due to the automated voter registration system, with millions of the new voters being added to the electoral roll. MPs expressed the concerns about the administrative challenge that this would pose. Additionally, they were called for improved civic education to ensure that young voters were adequately prepared to exercise their new responsibilities.
The House of Senate is the upper house of the Malaysian Parliament, and the members of Senate are selected by 2 options. Firstly, is appointed by the State Legislative Assembly or appointed by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. There are 70 senators and 26 of it was elected by the State Legislative Assembly and another 44 of it was elected by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. In the legislative process, the bill will go through the same stage as in the House of Representatives. If there are amendments made to the bill, they need to return it to the House of Representatives. This is because the House of Senate has no power to reject or insist on its amendment to a bill passed by the House of Representatives. When both houses has approved the bill and there are no amendments to be made, then the bill can proceed to the next stage. In the Constitution of Amendment Bill 2019, which proposed lowering the voting age from 21 to 18 years old, has no amendments made by the House of Representatives that made the bill can proceed in the House of Senate. At this stage, the amendment received the support out of 47 out of 68 members of the Senate, exceeding the 2/3 majority vote required after 24 senators participate in the debate session. Minister in the Prime Minister Department, Datuk Liew View Kyong, when tabling the bill, said the amendment was in line with global democratic practice, where many developed countries such as the United Kingdom and Germany have lowered the voting age to 18 years old. After the both House, which is House of Representatives and the House of Senate, have approved the bill, then it will be presented to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong for royal assent. When Yang di-Pertuan Agong has given his royal assent, then the bill will become law. Besides, there is no law that shall come into force after receiving the royal assent until it has been published in the Gazette. Thus, if Yang di-Pertuan Agong does not approve the bill, then Yang di-Pertuan Agong has 30 days to agree on the bill, but if it's not approved by the time given, then the bill will automatically become law after that. According to the Constitution Amendment Bill 2019 that proposed lowering the voting age from 21 to 18, Tun Dr. Mahathir tabled a proposed amendment to the bill which was read for the second time to amend paragraph B of Article 47 of the Federal Constitution to lower the age of citizens that are eligible to become members of the Dewan Rakyat from 21 to 18 years. And also, the proposal also seek to amend paragraph A of clause 1 of Article 119 of the Federal Constitution to lower the age of citizens eligible to become members of Dewan Rakyat from 21 to 18 years. In addition, several amendments to the Election Offence Act at 1954, Act 5, the Election Conduct of Elections, Conduct of Election Regulation at
1981 and the Election Registration of Voters Regulation 2002 will also be made. From this, we know that there will be changes to the bill that in the next stage, which is in the publication.
Assalamualaikum, my name is NURUL, FATIHAH, AUNI, BINTI, MANSOR. So, I will explain about the final step in legislative process, which is publication. So, publication process in the context of law in Malaysia is a crucial final step after a bill has been approved by Parliament. Once the Yang di-Pertuan Agong give royal assent to the bill, it becomes an official law. This publication process involves several detailed steps. First, the approved law is prepared for publication in the Federal Gazette, which is the office government document containing announcement, information, and new laws. Publication in the Federal Gazette not only signifies then that the law is in effect, but also aims to inform the public about their rights and responsibilities under the new legislation. Second, this publication is carried out by the Department of Information Malaysia and usually occurs within a specific time frame after royal assent. The Federal Gazette is accessible to the public, ensuring that all individuals, organizations, and stakeholders can read and understand the new laws that have been enacted. Third, after publication, the law will come into effect on the date specified in the Federal Gazette, or if no date is stated, it takes effect immediately. This ensures that the lawmaking process does not end with approval, but is followed by a clear step to inform society. In addition, Federal Gazette, also known as Warta Persekutuan, is an official document published by the Malaysian government. It contains various official announcements, new laws, regulations, and important information related to government administration. The Federal Gazette serves as a primary source for obtaining information about laws that have been prepared, as well as change in regulation that may affect to the public. It is also used to inform the public about appointments, tender announcement, and various other important decisions made by the government. So in conclusion, the legislative process in Malaysia is a systematic approach that plays a crucial role in shaping the nation's laws and governance, beginning with the proposal of a bill by government minister or members of parliament. This bill undergoes rigorous debate and scrutiny in both the House of Representatives and the Senate, involving multiple readings, committee reviews, and amendment to allow for comprehensive examination and input from stakeholders. Once approved by both houses, it is presented to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong for royal assent, which is visited for the bill to become laws, followed by its publication in the Federal Gazette to ensure transparency and accessibility for the public. Ultimately, this process embodies Malaysia's commitment to democratic values, fostering public access to legislation and encouraging open dialogues to strengthen legal and democratic institutions for a just and equitable society.